Hello and welcome to the Nintendo Network, and we are on the cusp of a brand new Pokemon Direct. And what's really interesting about this was announced a long time ago. So this has been kind of sitting and stewing for many people. And so, as I usually do at the Direct, let's go over some of my predictions for what's going to happen. But before I dive into my predictions, I got a special guest. With me is my daughter Colette.
Hi.
So she wanted to jump in and give her predictions for the Pokemon Direct because she has really been into Pokemon for a few years now. She played Sword, and then back when Scarlet and Violet was the first time I bought both versions. So I got Scarlet. She ended up with Violet, which was fine. And we'll probably do that again eventually when they do another main line. But she's going to kind of go over her little predictions, and then I'll give my full thoughts and opinions. So go on, Colette. Give us what you're thinking that they're going to showcase in the Direct this week.
So I am very excited because I like Mega Charizard X and Y because I like Charizard X because he is blue and fiery, and they've never really been in any Pokemon games because they're super special and rare, and they're bringing them back in this game because there are Mega Evolutions, and also Blastoise in his Mega Evolution too.
Mega Blastoise?
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, it's been since X and Y, since they've been around. You were too little to actually know, or actually, you saw me play those games back in the day.
Yes, I did.
I'm surprised you didn't mention Mega Venusaur.
Oh yeah, Venusaur too. I love everything turtle.
I don't know if he's a turtle. He's more like a plant
Sorta.
turtle thing. Close enough. He's lizard. But yeah, what are there? Any other predictions?
Nope.
All right, that's part of we'll call that Colette's Corner. So thank you very much, Colette. I'm gonna go on and continue my predictions. Okay, that was really fun. She hasn't been on the channel since Yoshi's Crafted World was announced, and she really wanted to talk about it when she was so young, so very young. Anyways, let's go into full-fledged predictions here. The first one, as always, we're going to get a kind of a deepish dive into the mobile Pokemon affairs. So we're going to know more about Cafe. I've never really played it, but that's fine. I know I haven't been keeping up on Go specifically, so I'm sure we're going to get some information on some more Pokemon Go stuff. I'm sure there's more events. I'm surprised that they've been able to stretch out, like not releasing every Pokemon. I know they still haven't released every Pokemon, and Dynamax and Gigant has been pretty recent, within the last year or so. I also heard from people I know that they're pretty pointless. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't know if my memory is 100% on that, but yeah, there it is. So I think probably what I do play the TCG Pocket quite a bit. I think we're going to get a reveal of a new set, and they're going to go over how well Eevee's Grove has gone over, because that has been the newest set, and that was stupidly evil of them to be like, ooh, let's make a set all about Eevee. Let's make a Pokemon card, Sylveon, just be staple for every set. Sorry, I'm not going to really edit this. These are just off-the-cuff thoughts, so we always get the mobile information, so that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to get a super deep dive into ZA Legends a bit more. There's not a whole lot more they need to tell us. They'll probably go over maybe more of the story, maybe more of the tournament. Some dark turns happen, I don't know. It is interesting that you're still just in the city, which is what was predicted long ago, which is pretty cool. Along with that, I think we're going to get some confirmation of other Mega Pokemon that exist that will be in the game, and we will get some new Mega Pokemon. I know everyone wants Mega Flygon. I think that's great. It's weird that Salamence has a Mega form and Flygon doesn't. I just really don't want them to focus on Gen 1. I love Gen 1. I grew up with Gen 1. But it's so many brands focus on the first iteration, and it's so frustrating sometimes. So along with Pokemon, look at Power Rangers. They're like I forget what's called. Power Rangers Reignited. They're bringing out a bunch of old toys of the original Megazord and the original Rangers. They do that. Uh, a lot of brands do it, and it just gets annoying. And Pokemon is worse. Sometimes I think some of the worst. Yes, I love Gen 1, but man, Gen 2 is my favorite. And like really there hasn't been a generation of the Pokemon themselves that I didn't like. There are generations of games I don't like, but the actual Pokemon, I think they all have been pretty solid. Every generation has some, oh wow, look at that. That's a thing they decided to create a Pokemon of. But it's consistent. So I think we're going to get that. And I think we're going to get some region-specific Pokemon. Hold on. I'm going to look this up. I'm on my computer. Gen 6 region. What is the Gen 6? I can't remember. And this is kind of annoying me that I cannot remember what the Gen 6 is. Why am I on Google? Oh my gosh. I'm on Google Shopping. I don't know why. I've never used that. Gen 6 region. Oh my gosh. Kalos. Kalosian? Sounds like a pickle. Kalosian Pokemon. So, we've had, starting in a low end, region-specific Pokemon, and I think this is a chance to do that again for Kalos. And I think I love a lot of those region specifics. So I think we're going to get some more of those. I don't really have a prediction. Going back to Megas, I would bet we get Mega Greninja, Mega Chestnut, and Mega Delphux. I forget how you pronounce its name, whatever. I think we'll and then with the new starters, but the starters for ZA, we got Chikorita, Totodile, and Tepig, and I think the question is, are they going to get region forms or mega evolutions? I think we're going to have a bit of a surprise. You can choose two directions with them. You get their middle forms, and then you can evolve them at 36 or whatever their level is, or through some special means, evolve them into Kalosian for alligator, Kalosian Baylor, or Meganium, and so forth. Or if you have their regular versions, their original ones, those can mega evolve. So I think they're going to expand that a little bit. That's just off the thought. I didn't even write that down. That came to my mind. I'm probably wrong. I'm usually wrong at these, but it's fun to talk. Next, let's talk about that Pikachu picture that they posted. And then even today, I'm recording this on Saturday, they said that they're doing some kind of music like leading up to it the hour before. And I thought it looked like a DJ table. I don't believe this is like predicting anything huge. I know a lot of people are like, this is black and white remakes. No, I really don't think it's black and white remakes. I don't believe anything that big is going to be announced to overshadow ZA. They don't want to overshadow ZA at all. They can't. So I think if anything, it might hint at maybe the Pokemon game music's coming to the Nintendo Music app. Game Freak's weird. They might be making their own music app, and for Pokemon music. Additionally, they've done like live tours for music, and I know they did one for Pokemon a while ago, and maybe they're announcing that again. That could be it. But I don't think it's anything as huge as people are predicting. Let's talk about the classics games, Red, Blue, Ruby, Sapphire. Everyone's thinking that they're going to come to NSO. I full-heartedly disagree, actually. If they come back, it's going to be in their own way. It's going to have some connection with Bank to allow you to move the Pokemon around. I don't know if it would be an extension from Bank, or It could actually be like, here's a game card that has, red, blue, yellow, green, gold, silver, crystal, etc. Like, kind of like if the Yu-Gi-Oh! Classic early years game that came out early this year has a bunch of the old Yu-Gi-Oh! Games from Game Boy and Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance. It doesn't have all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, but a lot of them. I think 14. So I can see them doing something like that. But because, one, money. Two, lots of money, because a lot of people buy it because it's all connected. So I can see that, something like that happening. I don't know if it'd be announced here, but I'm full-heartedly do not expect them to come to the NSO. And you honestly shouldn't either. And I got but one last prediction. This is for a new side game, which I think side games can be released alongside larger mainline games like ZA Legends. We're going to get a new Rangers game for the Switch too. It's going to utilize the mouse controls and Joy-Cons and its sensors to do the circling. I see some people contesting this just because, like, they don't want it to be gimmicky, but Rangers is a gimmicky game. Like, it always has been. I like those games. They're a lot of fun. A little annoying at times just because you have the circle, but I was always afraid I didn't want to scratch my DS screen. So I think this is a perfect opportunity with the mouse controls and the Joy-Cons to really bring that back. So those are my big predictions for the Pokemon Direct. So what are your predictions? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think of mine? Do you think that's a possibility? Is it not? Do you want to make fun of me for forgetting the name of the Kalos region? That's perfectly fine, because I'm making fun of myself at this point. But yeah, put all that information in the comments below. If you like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and join us on Discord. Cannot guarantee, work depending. I try to be in the Discord during Directs to kind of chat about what's being shown. It doesn't always happen, but hey, I'm going to try. Especially if I have people like clamoring for it. So this is the Nintendo Network signing off.